up, guys? Welcome to the second episode of the Wanderers podcast. Sorry, it's taken literally forever. We've had a lot of scheduling conflicts, but hopefully, most likely, those are resolved. I'm here with my new co-host Joey. What's up, Joey?
What's up, man? It's great to be here, man. Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me be on your podcast and this whole deal. Hopefully, we can make something of this. What's it called? Yeah, my name's Joey. I don't know. I'm just like an everyday guy. I do a lot of music stuff, school, work, just like everybody else. What's it called? I stream a lot on like twitch.tv/ LePoungen, LEPOUNGEN. I use that alias for like all my social media too. So I don't know. Maybe you can get a feel for what I am. Uh, Me and Nick have known each other for a good bit, a good while. Uh, yeah. I don't know. How would you describe
I guess
our past?
I guess it's been very like I think it's very complex because although we don't really hang out a lot, we still have we still care about each other a lot. You
Yeah,
know,
there's a good energy there.
a lot of mutual, definitely a high mutual respect, especially from me
Yeah,
to Joey.
definitely.
hmm
And from me to you, the feeling's mutual,
There
man.
you go. There you go.
Oh my God. I remember the first time I met you was
Summer school, right?
back in high school. It was summer school, dude. It was summer school for biology. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember I got in there because I was so mad, dude. So my freshman year of high school,
Okay.
I had biology with like me and like the rest of my friends, and I was like, okay. And like, I don't know, even with school till now, I'm a huge shitter when it comes to doing homework and like being like diligent and shit like that. And I'm just so lazy. Like when I'm in class, I'm attentive, I do all the work and I'm on it. But when I get home, man, I'm home. I'm just trying to like play games with the boys and just like hang out and chill, dude. Um, but like I ended up not doing a project one of the semesters. I think it was like second semester
Fuck.
biology, and that fucking tanked my grade. Um, so that year ends and then we go into next year. I'm like, okay, everything's fine. I go and I show up and I get my schedule and I have earth science. Earth science is what is basically like like the class before you go into biology.
Damn.
So I was going through a whole sort like a whole bunch of emotions. Like, so this would mean I would have to take earth science, then go into biology again in my junior year, and then take chemistry my senior year. That's like really behind.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I would like specifically try my best to avoid talking about like what class I had next if it was fucking earth science. I was so embarrassed. I was I don't know. I just felt so sad about it. And it was just like it was very obvious like it wasn't like the brightest kids in there. It was either that or just like the people where it was like English wasn't their first language and they like spoke Spanish, so like they had a harder. They just needed more attention and stuff like that to kind of like help them like get on the road in terms because they speak mainly Spanish and stuff like that. Um, but like here I am, like I took bio my like first year and I felt like that went really was good and like all my friends moved on and it's what bothered me. It's like not even that I had to just take bio again because that would suck. Like, oh well, I just have to take bio, but no, they threw me back. Like, why can't I just take bio again?
Damn.
I felt so bad. And then I remember it's like after that, I'm like, I am not doing bio my junior year and chem my senior year. Like, I'm gonna take summer school. Then I ended up taking summer school, and I remember going through it, and it was just kind of dreadful, boring 6 hours of just doing paperwork, man. Just fucking. It was literally just work.
I remember
It
that.
was just yeah. You remember that?
Oh God.
And
You
that's
had
when
the.
both me and you had it.
Mm-hmm. And we had the fat ass books that.
Yeah.
God, it was terrible. I remember the teacher we had. It was Mr. Vincek. It
Uh huh.
was
Uh huh.
he was the dude who sounded, in my opinion, like super close to like Nicolas Cage, and
A little bit, a little bit.
I always joke to him about it. Yeah, I took summer school like all summers of high school because I just like my the beginning of my sophomore year and the like my entire freshman year. I just just I got off my ADHD meds, and
Uh-huh.
then my and then I just failed all my classes, the majority of them, including my honors English class that I had, and then so I decided to like get like my life together like in that regards because it's like
Uh-huh.
I thought like what's gonna happen to me after high school? I should probably fix this up, man. And then so I took summer school, and then I took summer school, and then I took summer school again. Oh man, it's yeah, I've missed a lot of summers, uh, but I got through it, and I did. Yeah, I think that's the summer I we met. I think was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was really cool. I remember the first thing I said to you, you were wearing a Green Lantern shirt, and I
Mm-hmm.
commented on it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty cool shirt." And you're like, "Oh, thanks, dude. What's it called? Do you like, do you play games or anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." I'm like, and then I remember you're like, "Oh, cool. What's it called? Did you watch like the E3 conferences?" I'm like, "Oh shit, this guy actually keeps up." And then we were talking about all that shit. I'm like, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
fuck, man, this is cool."
For real.
Because I've never had like an interaction like that of just like raw. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a boomer about it, but like I feel like I came up in it like in that transition period where like video games used to be a thing where like you were like made fun of for and you would like get beat up and like it was like you were just a fucking like loser nerd if you played video
I
games.
remember that.
And I was in the middle of that trend. Like I feel like my generation is in that transition period where it was like, yeah, like you play video games, you fucking nerd, to oh shit, everyone fucking is on fucking Warzone and Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but like girls too and shit like that, where it's just like, oh, well, everyone can just like what they like, and now it's just like, wait, but like I still had that instinct that I wasn't allowed to talk about it, and I never let myself get to a conversation. Like if anyone ever asked, like, oh, what do you do? Like, what are your hobbies? What do you do for fun? I'm like, I play music, and I'm like, I try my hardest to hide the fact that I play a shit ton of video
Yeah, I was
games.
super unapologetic about it, which is why in middle school, like, I was just a loser, like the entire time. But I was just like, this is what I like, man. Those were the days where the PS3 was out during my middle school days, and I would just nonstop talk about like the infamous series. Around that time, Battlefield 3 was the most current Battlefield, and I would just gush about that game
You remember when
nonstop.
Battlefield 3 came out, dude? How like
Yes,
groundbreaking that was. I remember
so
my brother
good.
getting Battlefield 3 and like I remember everybody talking about it. Battlefield 3 I just felt was such a like foundational game for console shooters.
I agree.
Like yeah, there was like I don't know. Like yeah, there was like the Call of Duties and Halos and all of that, but for whatever reason, like it just felt like Battlefield 3 was like something I felt like it was that extra step that like moved things like sort of forward in terms of like the modern shooter. And when I mean the modern shooter, and what I mean by modern shooter is the modern uh set piece that of like American like in like intervene
I think it's like Middle East, right?
yeah, like in the Middle East and stuff like that, and like these modern issues in like video games. And yeah, video games have done it before, but like into where it's like a more like visceral, raw kind of like feeling with the game. Because I remember I really blew my mind because coming from like Halo and Call of Duty and like Counter Strike and all this shit of these games, um, yeah, there was like some that were like more in like a modern set piece or in a modern setting, but like at least in terms of like how like the gunplay was and what you were able to do with your guns or like the movement or like I remember the number one thing that stuck out to me was how fluid like vaulting over stuff was.
Mm-hmm.
And it like felt like oh shit, like you feel like a fucking soldier, like you're fucking like gunning it, like just like I thought it was so cool because like you remember like in like Call of Duties and shit where like you would like to vault over something you'd have to like walk up to it and then press a button and like you do this like animation of where you like push yourself up,
Yeah, I
and it
remember
was a
that.
very janky it was like okay, but like
In Battlefield, you just go, bro.
yeah, Battlefield is like sprinting full thing like leap over it like put
Mm-hmm.
your it's just like it felt so smooth fluid, and it feels like it just felt like that formula of like mechanics and movement and stuff like that of those modern shooters really just started to become like the foundation that like a lot of things would like go off of. Like it just feels weird for a game not to have that now. Like even like looking back, like if you look at like Halo 4, Halo 5, and how those games like work and stuff like that, like they could copy that verbatim
Mm-hmm.
of just that kind of that like that momentum that like I think that's how I'd probably describe it more, that like momentum-esque gameplay of just like, and it feels really good depending like it depending who you ask, but I think it's like a really cool feature. But I just distinctly remember Battlefield 3 just being a fucking like,
It was a really good
oh
shooter.
dude, that game was so fucking fun. It was so good. I remember I blew my mind. I never thought about it, 'cause games always in the past had like flashlights, but I never like thought of like the idea of like having a flashlight be like
Functional.
in terms of just like I just thought it was so cool of like having like a laser sight on your gun or a flashlight, and have that actually help you in terms of like blinding your opponent. Remember that shit?
I remember that, especially on like I think like on certain maps, like I think in Operation Metro, there would be a point where you could cross through this like L-shaped corridor that leads down into the subway, and that would be like a meat grinder itself. But you could destroy all the lights, and then so you could essentially like camp that spot. But if you moved forward and stuff, you could just like shine a bright flashlight attached to your gun, and just mow down people, because it like the flash would like they just couldn't see shit, and so
Yeah.
it was so good.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. Oh man.
Something
Go
I,
ahead.
I I think about Battlefield, since I've been playing it for just like almost 10 years now. I think. I mean, I've played Battlefield 3, right? I've gone back and I've played snippets of Bad Company 2. I've seen gameplay for 1942, but I've also played like Battlefield 4. I played the beta of Hardline. I didn't stick around for that one, of course. Battlefield, let's see, Battlefield 1, and then lastly Battlefield 5. But the thing that to me that stuck around, that I would think is pivotal for the Battlefield as a series, was how it like I think Battlefield before Battlefield 3 was mostly like a PC like a game, and I think after Battlefield 3 being so good on like consoles, I think it's been like when people talk about console games, like I think or console shooters, like nowadays a lot of people think about Battlefield as well, and I think that's granted due to Battlefield 3.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because I remember, um, because for console, I do remember playing like Bad Company 2, and then I think like the first Bad Company like was on console as well. But like I don't know, maybe I was too young at the time, but it felt like it just didn't have that kind of like impact of where like this game was like the shit for everybody, and was like astounding thing for like, hey, this shit is like applicable to console shooters. Um, it's like only when I feel like only when Battlefield 3 came out where it was just like, this shit works on console,
Mm-hmm.
and it works damn well. Um, and like it feels really good to play, and like you can get close to the same amount of players, maybe not as much as like PC, but I mean it. Well, I don't remember, it was like
It was 16 v
30
16.
16v16,
Mm-hmm.
which is still a good number. I mean,
For then, yeah.
yeah, for especially for then, yeah. Um, yeah, dude. Oh man, I fucking miss it, man. I remember that fondly. I remember playing a lot of Battlefield 3.
Have you played the premium maps or just the regular maps?
I think I maybe played through a little bit of the premium maps. I know I just like the first thing that comes to mind. Every like the first thing that everybody goes to mind when they talk about Battlefield 3 is fucking Operation Metro. I
Mm-hmm.
think Operation Metro is such it's just, it's gonna be, I feel like it's one of those maps that just stands the test of time, that will always be fondly remembered. I feel like it's up there with like
Nuketown.
Lockout from Halo 2, Nuketown from Black
Yep.
Ops, Dust 2 from Counter-Strike, just like these classic like these classic maps that
I
we just like
agree.
look back, it's just like, this is foundation of FPS maps.
I agree so much, man. Like battle like I remember like for me like the maps I remember were very popular, where it was Operation Metro, then it was North Shore Canals on Battlefield 3, which is the one where you're on the harbor, and then if you played it on Team Deathmatch, there were the shipping containers you would fight like crazy on, and then there's Demavan Peak, which is if you played it
I
on
remember
Rush.
I remember that one.
where you
I
would
remember
jump
that one.
and like parachute down.
Yeah, yeah, that one was so fucking cool, dude.
Hmm.
Just like it, I was never used to games having like at least in multiplayer in multiplayer games where it was like I don't know, how would you like describe that? Like a scripted, like almost like a multiplayer scripted scene where it like, yeah, it was multiplayer, but like it felt like you were playing a single player
Yeah, it
mission.
was. It was. I thought
Yeah.
that it was very the map. That map was very dynamic in that regard. I think it's really awesome. Like, I think the coolest thing about Battlefield to me that is why it's my personal favorite first-person shooter of all time as a series is that when you play the game, in contrast to like CS:GO or Rainbow or like Halo or especially Call of Duty, is that when you play in those games, you play as this like you're built up as like this one man like killing machine. Like you're against all odds. Like it's you versus these guys. But in Battlefield, because of the mass warfare that happens, and especially as the games have gone on and have built up their player count, it comes down to you being less of like this thing revolves around you, and instead you're part of this bigger conflict that where your decisions, your tiny decisions, like amount, and the decisions of other people on your team amount to a victory that like I think it's crazy, like the amount of the tanks that fly, like especially the classes that come around. I don't know. I think I love Battlefield. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely really does like incentivize that idea of just like it's more like you're like a cog in the bigger
Machine.
in the bigger machine, and that like I don't yeah, that you hold this place, and that you're big you're big enough to like make an impact, but not too big that like you'll solo carry a game and just like there's because it's just too big, there's just too much, there's too much going on. um and it kind of gives almost it gives it like I feel like a much more bigger theatrical kind of
I
thing
agree.
to it,
Hmm.
makes it more dramatic, that it's like it's just a bigger scope, like a big
Yeah.
theater of war, and it feels really cool.
Yeah, I love it. It's so cool. Especially like I think Battlefield 4 definitely regressed in that bit just a tad bit. I played Battlefield 4, and that game was definitely one where they kept some of like the I think the weapon system was around the same, but then they added Levolution, which I thought was interesting. Um, the but sorry, I'm getting distracted. But with Battlefield 3, like when it comes to the premium maps, like I think the one of the best map packs to come around were the close quarters map DLC, because what they would do is they would
Oh, they would turn off the lights, right? And you had to use a flashlight, right?
I think
You're thinking of another game.
you're probably thinking of a different like DLC, yeah. But like close quarters, it's where the maps were like were smaller. It's where it first introduced the mode called Domination into the Battlefield series, but it was started off as Conquest Domination, right? And it basically made it intensified the idea of a meat grinder times 1,000, where
Uh-huh.
it would be like this square, like, and then it would have had verticality to it, and it just like it would just be insane. You just pick an objective, you rush it, you mow everyone down, you move to the next sector, and it's over and over and over. And sometimes you get mowed down, and you just rinse and repeat. And it's very much that like Call of Duty esque, like fast paced shooting that from that DLC that I thought was really cool. But then they I think they improved on it when it came to like Battlefield 4, when they developed the like maps like Operation Locker, for example.
Oh, is that the like the big locker room
It's like the
that
in
is
the
just
Chinese prison.
yeah,
And,
yeah. And it's just kind of just a big meat grinder.
mm-hmm.
Oh, those, dude, I gotta be honest with you, man. I know it can like I don't know if it's just like the caveman DNA in me and just like the little monkey brain, but it's just something about meat grinders that I love. I love playing meat grinders.
They're so good, dude.
Like, but it's just like yeah, it's simple and it's like, but it's just like thinking, okay, maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one.
I
Maybe this is the
agree.
one.
I agree.
It's fun. It's just like, yeah, and it's just the chaos of it, and I just love the 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 vision of just like 10, like 12, 13 different other players against 10, 13, 14 other players, just all just throwing nades and rockets and just trying to like get that up, like just that little extra 10% on the other so that you can move in and clear it out and then just
Oh my
like
god, dude, tell me about it. Cause like that meat grinder thing was that thing was only like I think Battlefield One really captured that meat grinder idea because in that game like it's very famous for the what it's called bomb spam because all the classes had like way too much bombs in their inventories. And so like when you played maps like Fort Devoe or like Argonne Forest where you would it was like it's just like this straight line, especially if you're playing on a mode called like operations where you take sectors by sectors,
Mhm.
like all you hear is nonstop bombs, 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 bombs. And on like a map like Fort Devoe where it's a French defensive position that was overtaken by the Germans in World War One. The when you play that mode in like operation, there is a sector of the map that's like a little L shape, like um like a Z shape almost, or like a an N that's been flipped. I guess like a Z, yeah.
Yeah.
And the like it would just like there would be moments or because it's at that point it's on PS4, so not on PS3, so it was 32 versus 32. You'd have like about 20 people on both sides of like a single like alley, like a single what is it, hallway, and the only thing that's keeping each other from like massacring each other in seconds is like this like corner, there's like this sharp corner. And
Yeah.
it like they also added a lot of a voice. One of the things that makes Battlefield also very realistic, or I guess authentic in some ways, is that a lot of the characters have like voice lines and stuff that are activated through like different things, like oh I gotta get revived, grenade, and all that. So when you combine that with the excessive amount of bomb spam, the meat grinder felt like really it feels real, like it feels legit.
Yeah, it feels very immersive, like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we say authentic like we were there, but like
True.
I think people know what we mean.
Yeah. True. Like
um
I know the stories, bro. I served my time.
yeah, I know, man. And it's just kind I don't know. Yeah, it's just something about just like meat grinders. Like I know like my guilty pleasure for anyone who like plays fucking like Team Fortress 2, fucking fucking capture points CP Dust Bowl is just like it's like three different maps and each one like each team takes a turn. Like the first map is like it's a two capture point. We have to capture 1 point and then the next point. And once you capture both points, um it's a it's you go into the next map. And the next map you capture 2 points. Same thing, and you go to the next map and you capture 2 points. But like each one turns into just like that like classic like choke point hold where it's just a meat grinder and just trying to like where there's like just sentries like just sentry nests that are just super dug in and you can't get through and it's just like it's like and it's I don't know, it's like some people there's a large amount of people that don't like Dust Bowl, but I love Dust Bowl, man. I love Dust Bowl, especially like because like sometimes like in Team Fortress 2 like all it takes is like one good play, like one good like Uber, which is like makes you invulnerable
Right. Yeah, I
for like a
remember.
little bit, or like one good like spy play where you're able to like backstab an engineer and take out a sentry nest is like just the oomph you need, or like any something like that, or maybe two couple like just one pick that allows that gives that extra edge that allows the other team to come and swarm in and just seeing if the other team can react in time enough like in a proper way to like handle all of that. And it's just ah especially with just because Team Fortress 2 is like you're not playing for like it's kind of like Battlefield where you're not really playing for like a competitive rank or like some like elo system. You're
Mm-hmm.
just kind of playing to play it, playing for the enjoyment or like the community or stuff like that, and just trying to like just enjoy the game rather than being so fixated on a rank and all that stuff that you're able to like kind of like really get attached to it. And oh my god, yeah, but Dust Bowl is it just yeah for anyone out there who's playing Team Fortress 2 would like completely understand and like know that like the divisiveness that Dust Bowl brings.
Yeah, I
And
feel
just
it.
I don't know, man. Just meat grinders, man. Meat grinders are so fun. I love meat grinders.
My I think the thing that like sets me off the most when it comes to like, oh well, I can't really play a single map as a meat grinder, but like when like there's multiple maps that have that provide that same experience or modes. I definitely think the like what you can reciprocate is like the feeling you get when the scales are even and there's no and like both sides are trying to collide onto each other, but no ground can be gained. And so when you feel like you've made the like you when you make that solid push yourself, that changes that when that tips the scales, it really like it's really satisfying because to see that
Yeah.
because then the game just turns around, and then like the steam just happens, and
Yeah,
I
and then
think
it
that's
just
just
and you
mhm.
just start blowing through.
It's
Oh man, I
awesome.
remember playing through like Operation Metro and just like like I'd remember like okay, so you remember like as like you're in like more I don't know, fuck.
Did you
When you
spawn?
have to go up the escalators
Okay, yeah,
to take like one more point and then you go outside into their like the buildings and all that shit to capture more shit.
I remember that. Yeah,
Um that escalator part where there's like I don't know, like six escalators that go up,
yeah.
but like they're all there and they're all like either shooting down or like waiting at the thing. Oh man, just like it's so nostalgic thinking of just like spawning on a friend that's like prone on the escalator, spawning on him, being prone, crawling up just enough just to get your head blown off, and then like just for that one time where someone wasn't looking, and then you like run off behind cover, and then just like okay, now what?
Dude, I know what you mean. It's like Survivor. Holy fuck. Dude, those matches are insane. Like some of the biggest plays I've made on like battlefield maps, which I think is something that is super underutilized, is the smoke grenade. The smoke grenade will literally move you miles. Cause like there'll be like a volley of people shooting at you, right? You throw a smoke grenade or you shoot a smoke grenade at them, at their feet. They can't see shit, and then like because they can't see, they'll just shoot whatever, and because of their inaccuracy, you could just do whatever you want and get as much gain as much ground as possible before it dissipates. And if you're lucky, you can ambush them and then just wipe the entire defensive line, and then just move forward. And I think that's one of the best things, especially on that escalator part. Like there'll be people nonstop shooting grenades at each other, like up and down the escalator. But when you bank that grenade, like just at the right angle, where you get to take out like that one machine gunner that's killing you from that specific angle, you just rush in, and then you're solid. You can just kill everybody from their right or their left side. You know
Yeah.
their blind spots, which I think which is really awesome.
Yeah. Oh no, dude. I completely feel you. Just like just those little things of just it's just so I don't know, man. I don't know what you would call that. Fucking therapeutic, cathartic, all like any word that like is like good. it and just like those little plays that just kind of like help get that extra oomph. And especially like if you're like the one to be a part of it
I
or
agree.
that makes that like
The sets that emotion.
yeah, especially with like yeah, I definitely think just like super utilized things would be like smoke grenades and stuff like that because like who wants to take a smoke grenade? They don't kill.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's just like but it really does like help, especially like in like those games like Battlefield 3 where like everyone's like spamming Q or spamming whatever button it is that marks you.
Oh yeah, spotting.
Yeah, and yeah, spotting and just how fucking like easy it is that you can literally just be spamming it the whole time and you'll just be it's yeah, it's just a little unbalanced, but you know, oh well.
I agree. They got rid of it with
In
Battlefield
5.
5. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a step in the. I think the evolution of Battlefield has also been very interesting, following it for so many years, because Battlefield 3 I think was like the foundation for the rest of the Battlefield games to come out. You could say, I mean, you could also make the same argument regarding like Bad Company 2 or even the first game, but I think because Battlefield 3 was so popular on console, Battlefield 4, Hardline, and then 1 and then 5, I think definitely always take inspiration from 3 in the regard where where Battlefield 4 they tried to improve the map design by adding Levolution, and then with Battlefield 1 they decided to instead give people like 1,000 explosives, and then you have the trench warfare, but ultimately the thing that like was the biggest selling point were the behemoths, where
Yeah.
the like if your team was losing, you like a giant blimp would spawn, or a giant ship destroyer would spawn, or a giant fucking tank would spawn,
I
and
miss that shit, man.
it's so good.
I thought that I loved it. I Battlefield 1 was goated. Maybe not when it first came out, but like
Now it is, I think.
it's fucking goated, man.
Oh my god, I knew, dude. I was streaming Battlefield 1, and one of the premium maps is called Heligoland Bite, and that map is insane because instead of having a behemoth spawn in when you're losing, the entire map is based around like what is it, ship warfare. So the team just, everyone, like the enemy team and the friendly team, both spawn behemoths at the same time, and it's like you see like, and it'll be like tiny boats shooting each other with like rockets, I mean with like torpedoes, but it'll be like like destroyer on destroyer combat. And when you're in the middle of it with in a tiny boat, or when you're in an island being peppered by a destroyer, it's a whole different experience, man. Which is, I think that Battlefield 5, I think definitely, well, I mean there's a lot of things you can complain about Battlefield 5 on, but Battlefield.
Oh god, I'm so sad that Battlefield 5 went the way it did.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think it was a bad game. It just made a lot of missteps, PR wise, and maybe a couple decisions that I didn't agree with.
I agree 100%. Like the PR, I mean that's pretty obvious. Hey man, my little girl, blah blah blah. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And then I think the one of the biggest problems were the idea of having a faster time to kill in Battlefield 5, where in Battlefield 1, 3, 4, and Hardline, you had to pump more bullets into people to kill them. And in Battlefield 5, it's the opposite, where you kill someone faster and you die faster, of course. And then they added one of the coolest things that they added, that I would like them to add in the newest Battlefield that's rumored to come out, or announced in next month, I think, is like the things that they kept in. I think they would like them to keep. Oh my god! In Battlefield 6, I think should be the jungle running, where you can crouch run. I think that
I like that a lot. I do like that a lot.
I think the idea of your squad gaining points, and then for your squad leader to use those points to summon an artillery strike, or a huge fucking bomb, or a specialized kind of tank, I think is also very I think they should keep. I think the idea of being able to build your own fortifications within the map, I think, is amazing, because one of the biggest problems that the past Battlefields have is that after you play it enough, depending on how the match goes, there would be literally zero cover by the end of the match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did really like that about fucking Battlefield 5. Hold on, my fucking cat.
It's all good, man. Whew. Yeah, man. Battlefield. Can't wait for the next game to come out.
Sorry, fuck.
You're chilling.
But yeah, just like with, I really liked that about 5. Like that building system, I thought was like a really fun idea. I thought it was really cool. I mean, I just don't know if there was like a strong enough incentive for it. Like if you had people like genuinely like doing it, other than just like XP.
No, I understand. One of the things though that I think lacked, I think that made Battlefield less of a game compared, or less of like of a memorable game compared to Battlefield 1, was that one had just that level of atmosphere that Battlefield 5 is missing. Like in Battlefield 1, you feel like you're in World War 1. You feel like you're nobody. You're nothing.
It's fucking dark. It's dirty. It's gritty. It's fucking mean, and I love that about Battlefield 1.
Yes.
It like oh, have you like? I haven't watched those videos, but I've like seen like little bits and pieces of like Battlefield 1 no HUD, like all this stuff where it's just like, huh, like it's just. And this is like a multiplayer game, dog.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's magic, man. Like the fact that you're able to like really like get this kind of scenery and like and stuff like that. And I just feel like you just could not get that with Battlefield 5. And like, Lord knows, I played a good amount of Battlefield 5 to like, um, what's it called? I played a good amount of like Battlefield 5 to where I think I had like a pretty good opinion, I guess, on it.
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
it's a solid, like the mechanics I think are perfect. I think the mechanics are good. I think the map design is lacking in some
Yeah,
areas, and I think the atmosphere is alright. I think the weapon system is cool. I think I especially really fell in love with the customization system you can for your soldiers. Although some
yeah.
people would be like would complain about the premium soldiers that you could purchase. Like there's this one guy that looks like Tom Cruise, which I do think is kind of funny. And then other people would be annoyed at the fact that you could you could play as women in the game, which I really don't care. I mean, it's a video game.
Yeah, dude, that shit was like a whole fucking deal. Like, I think it was a dumb thing to complain about. Just like, what? Women in my video game? And then it's like, I get it. Like, you want like the authenticity of it, but like how much authenticity do you like really want? Like, what? Like, uh,
See,
I
Battlefield to me, Battlefield, and it's been also classified as an arcade shooter, so it's still in the same genre as like Call of Duty. You know, like
yeah.
if you're looking like for a game that it brings that level of realism or ultra realism, you would you wouldn't play Battlefield. You would probably play like a milsim like on PC like Hell Let
Yeah.
Loose or like
Or
World of
fucking
Tanks. I don't know.
Arma.
Yeah, or Arma especially. Yeah. Um.
Just like yeah, and it's just that whole deal of just like, oh, like this isn't like, oh, like women in my video game. I don't like. I feel like there's like more pressing matters to complain about,
Within the game
like than
industry,
like
yeah.
it's just like then just like women in my game, and it's like okay, well, like is like a super soldier like mowing down like all like Germans and Russians and all that shit, or being able to revive someone over and over. Is that not authentic enough, or
Yeah,
is that's just authentic enough? But like heaven forbid, like
a woman.
you just get to play as a female if you want. You don't have to. You just can if you want.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh no.
yeah. The multiplayer is funny. The I gotta say because it's like the fact that it's an optional thing. I think is perfect. And I know the only valid criticisms people mentioned regarding the whole "oh, woman in my game" is that the campaign of Battlefield 5 depicted some uh very close to real life like missions or scenarios that happened in World War II, where it was like like there's that one like campaign mission where you play as this like Finnish like a woman who's a skier, and you like sabotage like this German like whatever it is. I haven't played it, so and a lot of people were complaining that instead of having like pushing whatever agenda the what is it, Dice or EA is like pushing, they could have just added like the or could have made like commendations for the like this the actual people who participated in this mission to go ahead and like be in the incorporated in the game rather than have this fictional character that also happens to be a woman to star in that same mission. And so to me, I think that's like, well, that's I think I could understand that, but when it comes to like the rest of the game, like especially the multiplayer, which is I think that it's totally valid and okay for women to be in the game. I mean, it's optional too. So like if the community doesn't like it enough, then they don't have to pick as women, right? And so everyone gets what they want. And
Yeah.
but the I think the step ahead of that was like the character because soldier customization, because after playing Battlefield 1 so much, going to 5 and then going back to 1, I find it very jarring to play as like a clone trooper almost. Like it's just like you playing as this medic, but then there's like 5 other medics in the same room with you that all look entirely the same. I think I find it very jarring, and it actually takes me out of like the moment of like,
The
be,
immersion.
yeah, because because everyone looks different or looks different enough. It feels like I feel like I'm myself. I'm me, and participating in this theater of combat. Versus in Battlefield 1, I'm just like I'm me, but then that guy's also me, and then that guy's also me, and then that guy's also me. So I think if Battlefield 6 could add could add anything like that I think of importance from Battlefield 5, it should be the soldier customization, because it, cynically, it's also a good way to create generate revenue, right,
Yeah.
for the game, and it also serves as as a good way for players to have customize the characters however they want, thus giving players player expression, and and all that
Yeah, it's
whatnot.
sort of that, just like, well, it's just like, it's just like kind of sacrifice of just like, yeah, you get to like have that player expression, but also like they're selling that to you
Yes,
in like loot boxes or in whatever, and just any sort of like predatory like microtransactions.
they just have them in the menu. Like, it's like, oh, if you want them, you could buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think though, like, one of the biggest things that's gonna suffer, because I am gonna pre-order Battlefield 6. I don't have a PS5 yet, but it has been confirmed that's coming out for PS4s for some reason. It's
Uh-oh.
it's like I wish I had a I wish I had a like a PS5, or like if for you in your case, if you had a better graphics card, man.
Why
Like,
don't you play it for PC?
because I'm terrible, and I like my stats on Battlefield.
But but you could just put a. I mean, you wouldn't. It's not like you're like transitioning your stats. You'd still have your stats from Battlefield 6, and you can just plug in a controller.
Yeah, but people would just like laser me with their mouses and keyboards. I mean, I'll give it a try. I mean, I've bought Battlefield. Let me look at my fucking screen. I've bought Battlefield. I bought Battlefield 5 twice, actually three times, because my Battlefield 5 disc on PS4 doesn't work for some reason. So
Oh shit.
I've bought Battlefield 1 twice, on PS4 and PS5. I mean, and PC. And I also have Battlefield 4. I bought it that game, like, I bought it for the PS4. I bought it for the PS3, and for the PC. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm most likely gonna get it for both systems, regardless. I just
Yeah.
I always play Battlefield more like on the console though. Like, and if I do play shooters on PC, it's mostly milsims. But either way, I will be down to get it on both.
Yeah.
Um,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
but I mean, if I want to get it, hopefully my GPU could run it. I have a 2070 Super, RTX, and all that. Like, what GPU do you have?
I'm at 2060.
Hey, it's all good, Chief. Fucking
Nah, I mean
pleb. I'm
they're
just
good
kidding.
they're good cards, man. Both of our cards are pretty good cards.
Yeah, I
They're not
agree.
terrible.
They're not 1060s. Who, God
I mean,
forbid.
yeah, it's so crazy. It's just like like I remember when the 2060 was like the big deal. Then there's the 2070, now the 3080, that was like the big thing, and now the 3090, and this is like, oh Jesus, man, when does it end?
I'll tell you, man, it's crazy, especially because of the pandemic and all that rolling in, and everyone's being stuck in their homes. Like, everyone was bored enough to, like, you know what, I'm gonna do my summer project, which is build a computer, and
Yeah.
everyone had that kind of idea, including myself. But the thing that I did was I bought a pre-built computer before the GPUs were announced, and so bought my computer, my pre-built, for 1,600. But I've upgraded it with like a new motherboard, more RAM, and then 1,000 terabytes more of an SSD NVMe memory. So I am,
Damn.
yeah. So it also has an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X for a
Oh
CPU.
shit, man. What I need is another hard drive or like SSD, man. I'm like on like one small SSD and one like sort of big like HDD, and like I'm like tapped out on both. So every time I like want to play a new game or like get a new game or anything like that, I have to like shift around stuff, move stuff around. Okay, what am I uninstalling so I can uninstall this game.
I understand that so much, man. Yeah, I have like 2 terabytes of total memory of SSD. Um, like I have enough to like download fucking. I have fucking what games? I have Fallout 76, Valhalla, Overwatch, Minecraft, Team Fortress, Crazy Taxi, West of Dead, Controls, yeah, fucking Cyberpunk, Jedi Fallen Order. What other big ass games do I have? I have fucking Modern Warfare installed, Hell Let Loose, Black Ops, Sunset Overdrive. Uh, it's so many games, and I don't even want to talk about the fucking download size. Fucking Modern Warfare, fuck that. But like,
Oh my god.
it's terrible. But like, I viciously want a new graphics card, but I know that because the graphics cards, like the 3000 series, is so demanding in terms of like the other system requirements that it needs to just handle it. Like I would have to buy a 900 to 950 watt like gold standard power brick for it,
Mm-hmm.
just for it to run smoothly, right? So this is recommended, not even base requirements. And then I would have to get that. Plus, I would also have to get a new case, plus more fans, because that shit's gonna get hotter. Because and then, and yeah, it would be set. But like buying a new GPU nowadays is like trying to buy like a small house or like a small car, depending on what state you live in. Fucking those things are like what, $3,000, fucking four
It's
thousand.
fucking absurd, dude. I've been hearing like a handful of different answers on like why it's the case. Whether it's like, oh, this is like because of the pandemic, so it's like like shorter production supply and stuff, all that stuff. And then I've also heard this is because everyone's building PCs now because now everyone's stuck inside. I've also heard, especially with miners getting their hands on them for their cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. And it's just like maybe it's like
It's a
an
bunch of things
amalgamation of
together.
all these things that have just like that have led to the just like GPUs just being so absurdly expensive,
Yeah.
absolutely bonkers. I remember I got my 1050 Ti. Um, I think it was about like 4 or 5 years ago. I got it for like $120. Them bitches like is like fucking $350. Like you like, and that's for like a mediocre ass car, dude. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's insane. Like from what I know from watching, latest tech tips, is that the like one of the biggest chip manufacturers is in Taiwan, and that one of the factories burnt down because of something, and so that caused a chip shortage. At the same
Uh-huh.
time, you have new phones rolling out. You have car manufacturers rolling out new cars. We got fucking like people who make fridges, like the smart fridges. Those actually require like chips, and so like those plus that plus the high demand. Yeah, it's crazy. Like
That's crazy.
the new systems were coming out, like the new consoles were coming out, the new cars, new fridges, new and the new graphics cards, plus plus the demand from the pandemic from everybody being inside, because of their stimmies, um, the and because of the rise of cryptocurrency altogether, has led to this like this shortage and stuff. Oh, and you also have to account for like the scammers or the people who like you're like, you know what, let me just buy 500 graphics cards and then sell them for an arm and a leg, because
Yeah.
fuck you, I want more money. And so it's terrible. And I don't know, I would, I'm fine with what I have regarding my computer. The only
Yeah,
thing,
same here.
yeah, the only thing I would probably get would probably be the a new NZXT case that I was looking at, um, and like get a bunch of new fans, just for the extra ultimate cooling, because I during last year, the second to last month, I bought like PC building simulator, just to be like,
Mhm.
you know what, I'm gonna fuck around with this, and then like I really like this build that I made, and then so I wanna like make it reality. But at the moment, I'm not really feeling like spending money. I'm saving up to get a new phone. My phone's kind of
Uh-huh.
burning down. So,
Yeah, same here, dude. My phone is fucking dying.
what do you have?
Like an iPhone 6,
Oof.
something like that.
Switch to
Yeah.
Samsung, my boy.
Dude, the only thing that would ever make me switch to Samsung is just the fact that you guys have those like 100 hertz like phones, where it's like, holy shit, this refresh rate looks so good. It looks so good.
The 21 line is pretty good. I mean, they in a way it is a step backwards from the 20 series, because the 20 series you could install your own like SD cards into it, additional, which is the S21s got rid of. But like comparable to like the newest iPhones, the S21s are pretty fire.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's it called? I think probably the thing I would need. Well, this is more storage space and a new CPU. Like, Jesus, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably about time.
Check Newegg.
Yeah, I'd have to like look around on there and just like get around and see what like. I don't know, just look around, see what I can find. I'm just trying to save up money right now. I'm just not trying not to spend too much.
I agree.
And also with like a new phone and stuff like that, and I don't know. Eventually, things will fall into their place.
I agree. 100%.
Just take it day by day and just go through that whole deal. That whole, yeah.
Yeah, I understand, man. I mean, but like last week, speaking of crypto, there was the crypto crash, or like what is suspected to be the newest crypto crash. Bitcoin like fell like hardcore. And
yeah,
so
I
did
love those
Ethereum.
fucking memes where it's just like this guy talking to a girl. It's like, yeah, I used to be a crypto millionaire.
Shit is
Oh my
funny.
god. Do you know what the fuck happened? I don't know what the fuck
I
happened.
think one of the biggest things that happened was that Elon Musk was like stopped, like had an initiative in the beginning with Bitcoin for people to start to use it as a legitimate source of payment to buy like Tesla products, and then like Elon Musk like rolled back that idea, thus like basically like in a way like delegitimizing Bitcoin,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of people started selling off because of that. And then you also have the other like joke coins coming out, or what I call shit coins, like Dogecoin, like making a come up, which he is actually for, and he's pushing that. Um, I think, and I mean that's from what I know, that's like one of the biggest things is that Elon Musk did that. Um, but I do see the memes regarding the crypto crashes and stuff. Like I've seen like if you go to like slash biz on 4chan, all you see is like the rage faces. Like
Dude, I had oh man, I was sad. I was late to the whole Dogecoin thing and ended up like investing around like when it was at like 25 cents. So I came in kind of late, but then it shot up to like 70 cents. I'm like, oh my god, I am fucking up. We're going to the moon, man. I want to get to $1. And then we're at like 30 cents.
for real, me and my friend have this joint account for Dogecoin, and we both invested about like 2,000 or so dollars into it, and at like 31 cents, and then it was going up, right, and then we bought out around 61 more, just so we could keep the push going, and then it kind of crashed. But we're still like, if I think if you check, I don't know, from the time this is being recorded, I think it's coming up again. I mean, it's like everyone's pushing for $1, and then everyone's trying to sell at $1. I'm waiting. Me and my friend are both waiting for it to go up higher, at a higher pace, so that way we could
Yeah.
sell. Like if it reaches $10, we're set. Like not maybe not for life, but we're gonna be pretty comfortable for a long time. I
Yeah.
I just
Oh, like, bruh.
I just
We're
said
at 34 cents for Doge, man. This hurts. It
I'm
hurts.
still green, baby. Yeah, check
I'm still green too, man. I'm
but
still green,
yeah.
but it hurts, man. Not as green as we were.
I sent you a picture of like fucking biz when that shit was happening. Oh man. Yeah.
I just feel bad for people who are like super invested into this because it's like, oh man, well, there goes all of that.
I've seen people
Feels real bad.
who dropped like their life savings on like Dogecoin, and then like when it was like at 5 or like 1 cent, and then like they sold out when it reached like 50 cents or some shit, and they became millionaires. Like I know one guy did, and then because of his story on Reddit, like a movie studio was like, "Yo, bro, let's make a movie about you," and so that's been happening. That's real
Uh-huh.
thing, real shit. And then, I mean, there's also the like this internet like counter protest that happened with what's it called, with like AMC and GameStop, with the short selling that happened over the summer.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, that was so fun to watch.
Me
I
too.
wish I invested in it, but by then I was a broke bitch, not in like not working, not doing anything, man. I was fucking broke as fuck.
I
I
feel
couldn't invest in any of it, man, and I missed out, man, because I knew some friends or friends of friends that made hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's like, damn, wow, that's insane. Fucking America's first infinite money glitch.
Comedy glitch. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, dude. Like my favorite. My thing is like okay, so once again, me and Alex both invested around $2,000 into AMC, and we sold all of our stuff already.
Hmm.
And I made $1,400 back, and then and then he made around the same amount because we split it, and I think it was great because our initial investment, um, well, was it 1,000? No, we initially invested 500 each into it, so leading to a total of 1,000, and then so I gained like 100 or and something percent back of it. I don't know how. I don't know. I'm not a math major, but
Yeah.
yeah, we gained all of our stuff back, and it's pretty cool. What I like most about it is because it reminded me of the 2008 like crisis that happened with Occupy
Yeah.
Wall Street, but like that didn't really go, anywhere to maybe I don't know. I didn't really. I was 8 at the time, but like I think looking back, I think we've made a bigger impact on the when it comes to like a protest or whatnot, and what corporations and like hedge funds are doing to like companies to like destroy them in order for them to get richer and all that.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It's really cool, and it's actually way more effective because there's been like um like message boards and like articles like scattered around the internet saying that like hedge funds have like lost like thousands of billions of dollars like on because of AMC and GameStop, and then they've had to the point where they had to go to like the federal like you had to go to the feds or the government to like bail them out, which highlights a lot of the problems within
Our
our
government.
economy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just that whole escapade was just so entertaining and so
I thought it
and
was
it was
exhilarating.
like I try not to be like spiteful, but man, it was great to see like some of the stuff on TV of like fucking like Silver Spoon fucking like rich hedge fund managers just like losing their shit and like just because like they oh my god, I'm just like just having the what it's like to be on the other end of having the game played on you.
I agree
Just like
100%.
I'm just like, huh. And then what do you know? Like a week later, they patch the infinite money glitch.
True. And then the same thing is happening with with Robinhood. Oh wait, before that,
Dude, oh my god, I was gonna invest in. I don't. No, I don't remember. No, actually, no. That shit was fucking crazy with Robinhood.
mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I still use Robinhood.
Yeah, of course, it's all good.
I don't want to, but it's just I already have it set up.
It's chilling. Yeah, my friend, because he says he has to set up for personal reasons. He we use Weeble,
Yeah.
and then the I know like a bunch of like I've also seen like articles or like I don't know like I've seen like headlines where like some hedge fund managers have like killed themselves because of the AMC GameStop stuff, which I think is pretty insane. It's because it's like you don't really see like that kind of caliber of person in society, go through that kind of stress. But like when you see but it's like a normal thing when you see like regular people from the middle or the lower class experience that in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I to me that's like the one of the biggest things I took away from that, and to see Robin Hood, like I guess side with the hedge funds and all that, I think was kind of like a bummer, because the whole principle of Robinhood was that you could trade at whatever you want,
Yeah.
and then or with or whatever you want, and then it's like, it's called Robinhood, but they ended up like catering to like the big boys with the real with the most money, and
Um,
say some bullshit like market manipulation, like they haven't done it for years.
yeah, exactly. It's just disappointing. It's embarrassing. It's gross. Uh, but let this be mark a day where the American public stuck it to the man.
True. 100%, man. Holy fuck, dude. It's
That
really
was
good.
such a fun thing to like. That was so fun. Just like having those companies to like especially just like thinking, especially seeing those memes where it's just like one day like the GameStop manager wakes up and just like realize, oh shit, we're a Fortune 500 company now.
Yeah, I've seen memes too, where it's like you go to like it'll be like Trump Tower, but it'll say get a GameStop, and then and then it'll be like a ballet, like sir, how may I help you? As you like as the valet takes your car, and then it's like oh, I will procure a video game today.
Yeah.
And then it's like it'll be like the golden halls with like classical music playing in the background, and then it'll be like, which way, sir?
I
And
just wonder if our like GameStop power up rewards cards can still work. Like,
that's funny. Yeah, man, I've been a GameStop member since like so fucking long, man.
same here, man.
I haven't bought.
I don't use it anymore, and they probably like our account has expired, but we had a lot of points saved up.
Should probably check
Of
up
like
just in case.
maybe it's
Yeah,
probably I think it was under my mom's phone number.
yeah, cause I have it because I subscribe to Game Informer. To
I miss Game Informers,
I
man.
love Game Informer, bro. I read those things because I as much as I like watching IGN or like GameSpot, or like I used to watch like Inside Gaming for like news. Um, I like to read the Game Informer magazines because they're very, I think they're more objective than IGN or GameSpot, or maybe it's because of the medium that they're made that they're that it's presented to me in, which is written.
Yeah,
Because when
probably.
because when people associate like Game Informer, they don't think about like their videos or like their website. They think about their magazines.
Yeah,
Uh, it's I don't know. It's something else, man.
I know. I miss Game Informers. Me and my brother used to read those a lot. Just wait, what they would come in every month, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
every
every
month.
month.
I remember when the
Uh,
Battlefield 3 cover was out. That one was insane.
I'm trying to remember trying to remember any of the covers. Oh man.
There was a Modern Warfare 2, the Uncharted 2, then I think they had the Uncharted 3 one. I remember when The Witcher 3 was first coming out, they had a cover for that.
I
Um,
remember I would like go to the back of like the towards the last pages where they had all the reviews,
like the
like
review
the scored
scores.
reviews. Yeah. And I would look for like, oh, like what do they think about Halo 3?
Yeah,
What do they think about Fallout New Vegas?
I remember that. I remember the they also had the Halo 4 cover when that game was
Mhm.
announced. And then the when Assassin, dude, I don't know, I still have a bunch of them. The I also remember when Assassin's Creed 3 was announced, and that was like the best game of that month. That won like game of the month.
Yeah.
I miss Assassin's Creed when it used to be good.
I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed. I couldn't really get into it. That was more of like around the time of just like I will say I've been going through this arc in my life, and I like where it's going now. Um, Around like high school, like at least in middle school and when like elementary, I was able to just play single player games, dude, and I would like get invested and play a lot of them. And yeah, I would play like multiplayer games, but also like really like single player games, and I would really enjoy it and all that stuff. And then for whatever reason, just I don't know, just my attention span just like shrank, and just I don't know for whatever reason, just high school came around up until recently of just like I can only really play like 10, 15 minutes of like a single player game, and then I get bored and I just go back to playing the same fucking shit over, playing fucking Counter-Strike, League of Legends for like the fucking seventh year in a row now. Just like
Yeah.
go back to doing the same shit. But recently I've been playing single player games again, and I've been having a blast and playing them for hours, and I'm glad. And the one I've been playing a lot recently that I've been just super invested in watching videos and getting back into the lore has been Fallout 4.
Oh snap!
Because
Tell me
I
about it.
never I never played through Fallout 4. I played maybe like an hour of Fallout 4 and never touched it when it came out. Cause and it was like weird to me because I played the fuck out of New Vegas and I played the fuck out of 3. Never really got that far into 4. And now I've been playing through 4, and honestly, I do really like it a lot. And I've heard like the criticism of just like it's a good game, just not a great Fallout game.
I agree. Yeah, I think the best thing about Fallout 4 is the mechanics compared to New Vegas or 3.
Yeah,
It's
like like shooting and moving feels pretty good in Fallout 4. It doesn't feel great, but it feels pretty good. But when you go back to New Vegas and 3, and yeah, of how those games were just so good and just amazing fucking things, I can't fucking lie, man. It's hard to play those games. Like
yeah, they're
just
jank
the
as fuck. Yeah.
mechanics, they're so fucking janky. They did not age that well.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like if you want to play New Vegas now, I beat New Vegas recently. I had to mod it to the point where like they had to where the in order to access like my stuff, I would have to mod in a weapon wheel. I had to mod in like graphical things just to make the game look better. I had to mod in like unofficial patches, which I mean it's a it's a Bethesda thing.
Yeah.
My experience. Did you finish Fallout 4 yet?
No, I've been doing a lot of like side questy stuff. I've been doing a lot of like the Brotherhood of Steel stuff right now. I don't fucking care for doing the Minutemen shit. Like I want to, and I do like the Minutemen, and I do like the idea of it, but I just know the whole meme. Like I really don't care for the base building stuff.
I understand. Yeah, I think the like I for me my only problem I had with the base building, if you play the game like base game right with no mods or anything like that, is when you
Mhm.
have to go out of your way to collect thousands of materials to then use it to upgrade a single base just for Harvey or whatever his name is. What's his name again?
Which one?
The another settlement needs your help guy.
Oh,
Preston.
Preston Garvey.
Yeah, Mr. Preston, to be like, oh look, man, another shack in the middle of the swamp needs your help. It's just like, it's like oh, it's just, yeah, that rinse and repeat sucks. But like,
Yeah.
I only get as far with the Minutemen as until I unlock the castle. Like the castle is the only like stronghold that I like because it is legitimately like a fortress, and I think
Mhm.
it's cool. But I always side with the. I think the best solution is being the leader of the Minutemen, but then also being, well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but siding with the Institute.
Yeah, that's what Ashley told me, because Ashley is like a huge Fallout fan. She fucking loves Fallout.
Have you?
But
Would you like to talk about like the ending stuff, or like would you like me to keep it
uh,
gray?
I'm gonna be honest. I've been so in the dark about it. I don't even know how it ends. I legit don't know how it ends. I don't know what happens. So like,
I'm not gonna tell you. It's cool.
like don't worry. Next one. I'll try to get as close to where, of just, but I remember Ashley telling me that she was siding with the Brotherhood up until she found out of like what about the Institute and like everything about it, and she's like, okay, like she's ended up siding with the Institute.
Institute is so based, bro. Like, cause like the thing with the Institute, well, I mean, the Brotherhood is still, as soon as you measure like encounter them, it's about erasing, or like controlling humans and their potential to like, I guess, innovate, because it could lead to problems. So like unchecked
Yeah.
innovation is what led to the apocalypse in the first place. But like what the Brotherhood of Steel does then is by making that their model of exist, or like like their pledge or whatever, their calling card, whatever I don't know what the right word is. like their mission statement. There you go, is that they instead have they relegate themselves to being the sole proprietors of technology,
Yeah.
which then is kind of hypocritical because if regular folks can't be trusted with dangerous technology, but with a group of other individuals with better, stronger technology, like you think that that would be kind of like hypocrite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's sort of just like what I've been thinking about too, of just with all that. I'm just like how I feel about just like the general image of like the Brotherhood of Steel. Of just like I'm just like I see what they're doing, but for me, I'm just so progressive of just like I don't know, like even when we would like take these things in in pub like in fucking high school where we would like read we would read we would read Frankenstein and like, oh, you have to like, okay, what is this trying to say, and like what's your opinion of just like, oh, like this is what happens when humans play God, and this is what happens when like science goes too far, and like ethics and stuff like that. But I've always sided with like, I've always been in the scope of the field of just like, no, no, like no. I think like why do we like I'm not a big like believer in like halting scientific progress for like the betterment of mankind. Um, just for this like loose like code of ethics that we like abstractly that are just so abstract and just like, oh, like because then it's just like it because even that is just so abstract and it differs from culture to culture of like what's okay and what's not okay.
I agree. Yeah, I think when it comes to like, for example, like you've played the fuck ton of New Vegas, one
Yeah,
of the biggest conflicts is the Hoover Dam and who should control it. And I've
yeah.
always sided with the NCR personally
Hmm.
because Caesar's Legion. I mean, you played the game and you beat it, so
Yeah,
we could talk about it in depth.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Which is the I think the NCR. I think if you can do as much as you can to reform the NCR. I mean, but this is also a problem with Bethesda games, which I'll talk about later. Is that as much when you do everything as a good guy in New Vegas for the NCR, you defeat this faction of people who are essentially enslavers, rapists, and murderers. And then for this like republic that this fledgling republic that resembles what the U.S. used to resemble
yeah,
pre apocalypse. Um, and then you have the politics of like Mr. House and all this stuff regarding the New Vegas Strip. But I ultimately always side with the NCR simply because although there is a lot of problems with it regarding the um I guess how far like you could stretch your troops out to secure an area, and
hmm,
still there being like I guess lawlessness. Um, I would, I still think that they're the better faction to pick because it's just like you can compare the expansion of the NCR into the Mojave Desert as you can to the western expansion of the United States in itself because of there was a period of time where there was lawlessness in the United States in the Midwest or in the West in general. But as surely enough that subsided, and then there's been more order and control with people still having personal freedoms and all that.
yeah. As things progress, and yeah, and just that was I sided with the NCR, and just I don't know, just the thought of just like in this barren wasteland, just like to have some sort of sense of leadership of this like overarching government to like help get things back on track in such a daring time is just, I don't know, it's kind of like appealed to me that that I just feel like personally like what we need more is solidarity
I agree.
in terms of all of that of just like and yeah, you can, I don't know, it's just like you can cry fascist, but like at the end of the day, like it's a fucking nuclear like apocalypse. So
Yeah,
it's just like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like maybe now there's like a lot more leeway on like whether we want to talk about like, oh, how we should be as a like a government and as a nation, of whether we want to be more conservative or more progressive and less government, more government. There's a lot more conversation for that. but I just feel like it's a different ball game when it's like a fucking like nuclear wasteland.
I agree. Yeah,
To
like
get like human society back on track.
yeah, I think like the idea of like how fast we can recuperate is a thing of importance too, because like another faction you could choose is Mr. House,
Yeah.
but then I mean yes you can have stability at the choice of having literally no freedom. I mean you won't get raped and killed like by like the you would with like Caesar's Legion, but you don't have any freedom regardless. And that's why I still choose the NCR. Although I think of them more of a republic than a fascist state, but in some ways they do resemble that of what you mentioned. I agree.
Yeah. I know, and it's just such a hard choice to like kind of mingle with and just like kind of on how to sit with that of just like fuck, well, like it's just one of those things. I will say it's been a while since I've played through New Vegas, and my plan, what I want to do now, is that I want to finish 4, and then I want to play the DLCs, and then I want to finish 4 again, but like modded.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to play through New Vegas again, finish that, play through 3, finish that, and then play through the first 2 because
Okay.
I've never played the first 2.
Yeah, I think okay. So I that definitely sounds like a good track record, especially with Fallout 4 New Vegas coming out, which is where this ragtag team of like modders is like bringing the entire world of Fallout New Vegas into the Fallout 4 engine, which I think is really cool. The one of the problems with like Fallout like narratives is that they're like they don't go like enough. They don't go far enough to me. Like they don't like in Fallout. Okay. So when it comes to like Fallout New Vegas, because I haven't played 3, but I know of 3.
Uh-huh.
With New Vegas and and you haven't finished 4, so we can talk about that. So with Fallout New Vegas specifically, you don't do enough. I don't think you go far enough in like the factions themselves. Like you're always like this character that just like exists to facilitate the narrative to move forward, which I think is kind of cool in a way because you're kind of a gray character like that. But you don't like there's no like I don't think like real significant change. Like you don't ever like as much as you want to do good within like the Brotherhood of Steel in like Fallout like New Vegas, it'll still be the same as you left it. Like with Fallout with the NCR, you can't just do the amount of bureaucracy that exists. You can't do anything to reform the NCR, or you can't do enough to reform it. All you really do is aid these factions, but they ultimately have their own agenda, which you can't really influence, which I think is a shame. Which is something I like, which is what I would like to see, is where you as a player can truly like swing things around and
Yeah.
make entire factions that like for example it would be really interesting if you could turn the Minutemen from like this like goody two shoes people into like an actual like evil like organization, and then like
Just have a where you can like actually talk to people and like influence and like change the agenda, change like the whole deal of just like, and that's what's been bothering me a lot about fucking Fallout 4 is the fucking dialogue system, dude. I
terrible.
hate the I fucking hate the dialogue system.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I think it's fucking garbage, man. And just to even like get it to like more authentic, I had it to where because there's an option to turn off that camera that happens during every like dialogue option, where it's like a third person camera and it's supposed to be like more cinematic, but it's like in game. Um, but I just have that turned off because it's just it just feels weird in a Fallout game. I'm just like I just want to have that like one to one like I don't know. Um,
I think modding Fallout 4 is awesome though. Like I've modded Fallout enough to the point where it resembles like the Metro series, like nuclear winter. Like you have to wear a gas mask. You have modern guns. Like different like you have custom companions. Like buildings like have like you can wipe down your there's this mod where you could wipe down your gas mask if it's covered in blood or snow, and then like your gas mask would,
Gas mask.
yeah, would procedurally break from like firefights if you got into them, or like if you got hit in
Yeah.
the head, and you would have to like use certain materials to like fix it, or if you didn't have any materials, if you got lucky enough, you could pry like gas masks off of dead guys who also were wearing gas masks and put that on.
Uh-huh.
And like, and then you could also change like the way the factions look, the characters themselves, the templates, the presets, like
In what?
in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Like you could like there's even a mod where you can bring back your dead wife and make her a companion. It's funny how
Oh,
that
man.
works, because the way the mod does it is that it's like, oh yeah, I got shot in the head, but like I took a stim pack, so I'm good now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back to what you said, like I just, and also I just like just kind of stuff with like what you said, like with like how you can't really influence like the of what and you what just like what ends up happening. I also, at least with New Vegas, it's like there's not really a clear thing of like who the good guys are, but it's very clear who the bad guys are,
Yeah.
which is kind of lame, I think, of just like it's pretty like I don't know. They really don't sell the like Caesar's Legion.
They don't. It's, yeah, they're pretty. There's a lot of like I did look up a lot of stuff saying that there was a lot of content regarding Caesar's Legion because of the date of release of New Vegas. But I mean, like, how much can you really romanticize a faction who dedicates themselves to total control, enslavement, and rape? You know,
Yeah.
um, the but I mean, I really look forward to. I really want to play New Vegas again, but because I think that's the closest game that the Fallout series gets to, saying what are my problems with Fallout narratives as a whole. But like I want it to I want it to be in like the Fallout 4 engine, which is why I initially bought Fallout 4 on PC, was just because I'm waiting for Fallout 4 New Vegas.
Yeah. But like I feel like we're gonna have to do a lot of waiting. I was looking at some of the trailers and it looks so cool. I'm just like to have New Vegas in Fallout 4 engine and just it sounds so great.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Fuck. Then it got me thinking like, oh man, I wonder if they're gonna because they're doing Elder Scrolls 6. I'm like thinking, damn it, I want a new Fallout game.
Yeah, for me, Elder Scrolls is mid. Like, I think it's okay, but like Skyrim, like the narrative is terrible. Like the modding and stuff is fun, but like it's ultimately like the narrative. I think I don't know. I don't like it. It's like because you
Oh,
have you played Skyrim before?
okay, so like I've played it like a good amount, but I'm gonna be honest, I was probably like 11 or 12. I don't know what the fuck was going on, man. I was just doing magic and shit and just conjuring and I story wise, I was just not fucking paying attention. Say all you want.
Yeah, man. Basically the main narrative is that it's the Imperials versus the Stormcloaks, and the Stormcloaks, the leader is Ulfric Stormcloak, blah, 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 and he like wants Skyrim to be just for the Nords. So that means, so he's basically a Nazi, saying that
It just wants race war.
yeah, and then he wants to destroy the Imperials, which the Imperials are kind of like this like anti-religious group of people, because they banned the like the practicing of worshiping this god called Thalmor or whatever not. And Ulfric's Stormcloak is supposed to be like the reincarnation of that god or whatever. But the Imperials, because they're a big faction, they were able to keep the Dark Elves from invading Skyrim, and they have like these like ceasefire like at the time. And so essentially by picking the Stormcloaks, you're destroying the Imperials, because you're just a fledgling rebel organization with no real, real found like how to say it, no roots,
Yeah.
no established armies or anything like that. Then you're ultimately leaving Skyrim susceptible for the dark elves to come in and destroy and kill everybody. So there's no reason why you would pick the Stormcloaks. And then, but it goes back to it once again, saying like, because like essentially all the Imperials would have to do to make it so that way these Stormcloaks would stop existing would be like, hey man, you can worship this god now, and then all the problems would go away. But you can't do that because it's Bethesda and all that. So, but
Which gets me thinking if like the stories for like Oblivion, like, or like Morrowind were that shot.
I don't know. I heard from what I've heard and from what I've seen, Oblivion is like the magnum opus of like the
Yeah.
Elder Scroll series, and then people just play Skyrim because you could mod it to the point where you're not playing Skyrim anymore. Just you can say the same thing about Fallout 4, but yeah.
Crab with a top hat? What the fuck? Come on, Master Chief. Let's get the fuck out of here.
For real. And you get fucking Barney dragons. But
Oh man, dude, Skyrim is such a. I remember playing it a hefty amount, but like, I never really like was really conscious or paying attention to what the fuck was going on.
I agree, yeah. The but a good well, I don't think it's an open world series, but the third game did make it an open world series is the Metro series. Like it was made by Polish dudes, Polish or like I don't want to I might be completely wrong in a whole continent of people might start to hate us, but it just Eastern Europeans made like the Stalker series, and then like a de facto group of developers split from that company, and then they created the Metro series. Like, what do you think? Like, do you know anything about the Metro series?
I have some of the Metro games. I have not played them. I know I know super vaguely. I just know it's like post-apocalyptic, like
Nuclear.
yeah, nuclear apocalypse. So it's just like sheltered in the subway systems.
Dude, if you can, you should totally. I implore you to play them. I'll even go out of my way and buy you Exodus because it is such a good game.
What about like Metro? Like how are the remasters?
The let's see, the Redux versions of 2033 and Last Light. Well, 2033 is jank because it's the first game, but
Yeah, that's I have 2033.
I recommend it. But Last Light is godlike, and Exodus is like the cherry on top, dude. Like the biggest differences, narrative differences between the Metro series and that of the Fallout series, can come down from where the stories originate from. Like the Fallout series is from the West, right? And a lot of the themes that Fallout prophesizes is the idea of hope, an idea of moving forward and redemption, whereas the Metro series goes the exact opposite, and where the reason why that world exists as it is because of it's like punishment, like there's no moving forward, no progress. This is it. This is humanity, and this is what's left of it. The end. It's sad, miserable. Death is all you know. Your family's gonna die. You're never gonna see the sunlight, and I personally I'm more attracted. Well, of course, it is a single player game, so you don't have a single. It's more of a narrative shooter than anything else, less than of an open world game. But I recommend it. Like the 20.
That sounds cool. That sounds great as fuck, man.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Like I won't spoil any of it, but when I streamed Exodus on Twitch, it made me cry. Like it got to the point where like you really understand the idea of loneliness of the apocalypse, which is something you don't really just get in like Fallout that much. Maybe like I think the only time you do that is when you meet that one guy in bandages from the Fallout series.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about?
Depends. Is that one from that one DLC?
Yeah, the one who's.
I will say, it's surprisingly enough, I haven't touched the DLCs for New Vegas, which I need to.
Yeah, like that guy. Like he is like amazing, like because he is the closest we'll get to what it's like to experience like the sheer loneliness and struggle of the people of Eastern Europe, especially of the Russians, because the game, the first, well, all three games take place first in like Russia, in the Moscow region, the city of Moscow, and then like in Exodus, you actually leave Moscow and you explore the rest of Eastern Europe, and
Uh-huh.
eventually, well, the game concludes in a way I'm not gonna spoil because I really want you to play 'em. And then, um, but the way that you tie up the story, I think it's really interesting. And especially because as of recently, the enhanced edition of Metro Exodus came out, which you can only play if you have a 3000 series graphics card, recommended a 3080 or above.
Jesus.
Yeah, and where the entire game is only like it it only uses. Wait, give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Getting a call. Okay. My bad, my bad. Okay, I have returned. All right.
There we go.
So yeah, Metro Exodus. I recommend it. There's no. It's Metro Exodus is such a like. It's such a like magnificent feat of like game development, because since its inception, the newest graphics cards as well as the last iterations of the 2000s used graphics cards, they always used Metro Exodus as a
Like
benchmark
like
course.
the new Crisis 3 or like the new Crisis.
It's basically like that, yeah. But Metro Exodus, the enhanced edition, is essentially the new Crisis, because
Uh-huh.
you could run it at like 4K, like 60 FPS, but barely. It is like the game is so technologically advanced that like you cannot play it with any hardware that's like old. It's insane. Oh my god! Like I saw the breakdown that Digital Foundry did, where they compare the lighting of the two games, and it's so different. The lighting makes the graphics of the actual game like look close to real. Like of course you could say that, you could have said that about like Crisis, like when it first came out, like, oh bro, it looks like real life. But
Yeah.
like like if you like have like a 4K display with like a 3090 and the latest AMD like CPU and enough power, of course, that game will blow your bits away. It is so good looking.
Yeah, dude. I have to check it out now. Once I like finish my Fallout 4 escapade and get through my like all my Fallout franchises and all that stuff, I really want to I have been wanting to really get around to games like Metro or like another game that I really want to get around to. I want to finish like funny enough the fucking Amnesia series or I really want to get around to finishing Soma, which is also another fun one from like all like the reviews and stuff like that I've read about it. I don't know. Are you familiar with Soma?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, of just like this whole of like of just like AI or like what is human? Like how like do you define human and like if it acts and like talks and like displays emotion and stuff and just like all these like existential questions that are just like super interesting to just ponder and just think about.
Yeah, there is something else. Um, and then like aside from like games, right? You like sometimes you get bored and your fingers hurt. Like, what shows have you been looking forward to watch or trying to get into?
Dude, I've been really wanting to watch. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I really want to watch fucking Invincible so bad.
It's so good, man. Like the
Yeah, I hear it's so good. It's on Amazon Prime, right?
yeah, but I'll send you a
Yeah.
website where you can watch it for free.
Well, I have Amazon Prime. The problem is just I just haven't really like. It's like on what it's more. How do I want to watch it and commit to it, but I also want to watch it with Ashley. But like, I don't know how to tell her like, hey, can we watch this? Because we kind of just like put on whatever, and we'll just like put something on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But like, man, I really want to watch Invincible. I've seen like one scene of just like this whole fight scene. I'm just like, yep, I like this a lot.
Oh, is it the
Just
one where
everything about
Omni Man or the
he's
dude in
like
the
tied up, or
okay?
he's like getting like they're trying to apprehend him, and this is like this handful of like other like
I see
superheroes
that.
or
Yeah,
whatever, and like they're just duking it out, and it's just fucking like
brutal.
grotesque and
Mm-hmm.
brutal, and it's just god damn, that's fucking great.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
man.
the worst part was when you understand the context of it. Like, but like, have you seen since you've seen the fight? Like to me, the like one of the worst deaths was when that dude with the with the speedy powers, who's in the
Yeah.
red outfit,
Yeah.
is like gets his head crushed by Omni Man, and then the
Oh
entire
my god.
time
Yeah.
is when he's called like the Red Flash or whatever, or Red Riot or whatever, and then he's like punching his chest so fast that and out of like trying to live that he
Uh-huh.
punches him to the point where his wrists break, and then his head like you see like bone, like it's terrible, and then like the only thing that he only really made scratches to Omni Man's like outfit, really, but
And, yeah, and also that, and not only that, but it's just like it's fucking J.K. Simmons doing that, yeah, or doing Omni Man.
mm-hmm. God, Spider Man.
So fucking. I forget that he is the fucking commissioner, whatever the fuck his name is, or what.
Um,
Um,
J. Jonah Jameson from Spider Man.
yeah, I always forget that he's that guy. It's so fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Or he's the fucking the jazz teacher from Whiplash, or Cave Johnson from Portal 2.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, yeah, that
And I'm
show.
just in love with those fucking memes of the fucking like, why did you make me do this? Think, Mark, think.
Yeah. Then he says another line where it's like 17 years, I can make another one, and then it's just like, but yeah, I mean, not to go in further into that without spoiling. Yeah, that show is really good. It reminded me a lot of like The Boys, which is what people compare it to, which is that I think it's also an HBO, which is like that like live action like dark fantasy or dark fiction world where you have like Homelander, which is and like all these other heroes that exist, but they're all like because they're trying to make it like add the human element to it. Like these people are like self arrogant assholes who murder, who don't care, who just want power and money, and but they also have superpowers, and that's what like a lot of people like. At least when it comes to like the grotesqueness of of like the action scenes, that's what a
Uh-huh.
lot of people attribute Invincible to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it isn't like kid. It is not kid friendly at all.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah, I remember my friend Nathan is he would tell me about it, that he's just like, you have to watch The Boys. And I'm just like, yeah, one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I've just been wanting. I just need to set it like aside time to watch it. But yeah, I really want to watch Invincible, and I really fucking want to watch. It just came out. It's a Netflix original. It's called Yasuke.
Okay.
That is basically, so the I guess the idea of it and the plot of it seems kind of cool. It's basically like the first Black Samurai.
Oh, is it
Uh,
based around like Afro? Is it like Afro Samurai?
I guess kind of. I don't know. I never saw Afro Samurai. But that's essentially what it is. It's just like, yeah, and it's just like it's like and it's drawn in like this anime style, so like looks really clean, looks really nice. Um, I don't know. It seems really cool. But like my main thing is that, so the person who's doing the music for all of it. Well, first of all, anything where you have like some like really badass black guy doing some cool ass shit in like Japanese thing, it's just like you got my attention.
For sure.
Like, I don't know if you like seen any like Tekken gameplay or know any of the characters, but like my fucking favorite character to death that I just love that I and like whatever you maybe like people make fun of me because he was such a tier horror monster, but fucking Leroy Smith, the fucking is just the coolest fucking character in that fucking game. No, like no character has more swag than that motherfucker. It's just so fucking. Oh my god, it's so cool. But the thing is with Yasuke, the soundtrack is done by this guy. His name's Flying Lotus. Flying Lotus is a big music guy, and he does a lot of music with Thundercat. I am in love with Thundercat. I fucking love Thundercat so fucking much. Thundercat does a lot of music with Kendrick Lamar, and he did a lot of music with Kendrick Lamar, Erykah Badu, Snoop Dogg. He did a lot of music for that. He's like this like big bass player. So it's just like, oh shit. Well, like it's just like I don't know. And just been listening to the soundtrack, and it's pretty fire. It's just I like it a lot.
I'd have to watch it, man. So that way we could talk about it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's all good. we got homework. There you go. It's yeah.
Yeah. I gotta finish my Fallout franchises. Get to fucking
Metro.
the Metro series, the series, and all the series, all that. Then I gotta watch Invincible, Yasuke.
Holy smokes!
All this other shit.
Yeah, man. And then there's also the I mean, there's a lot of like pop culture stuff that's been happening, you know. But you know, a lot of the times, a lot of like actors that participate in shows like this have like you know like political ties to all these things, and you know like for example, one of the recent movies that come out was like the new Suicide Squad, or that's gonna come out as the new Suicide Squad movie, and then one of the actors is John Cena, right? And you know,
man.
and then a lot, you know, he is everyone likes him or I would say used to like him because of the whole like oh you can't see me meme, where it's like he would appear in like photos or videos and it'd be like people joking around like oh where is he, or like who is this man they're posing with. But lately he's been like coming under fire because he apologized on the internet essentially to the Chinese government for calling Taiwan a country. What do you think about that?
That blows my fucking mind. Well, it doesn't blow my mind. I'm not surprised. Hold on, let me see. The fucking, because was he in China?
Let's see.
Oh yeah, he was. So it's basically because he's gonna be starring in Fast and the Furious 9.
I think that's made by Tencent, right?
I have no clue.
Let's see what studio.
Oh,
it's Universal. Yeah, but it's like the thing is, like in order for the movie to sell in like China and all that for like monies for the sake of you know money, the way the Chinese government operates is that they have to, like you have to be clean. You have to be like you know follow all the guidance rules. You have to be in line according to the CCP, and like one of the things that encompasses that is that you have to not acknowledge the what's it called, like that Taiwan is a country or whatnot, and
yeah.
that is definitely something that I don't agree with. That I don't think you should.
I don't think most people agree with that, but it's just most people. I guess most people just don't research into it that much. And I don't know. It's just I've talked about it. I think me and my friend have talked about it. I have a friend and he's fresh off the boat. Um, he's lived in America for about like 7 years, and he's lived in he lived in China like most of his life. Excuse me, most of his life, and coming down here, like we've talked about it, and just like how crazy like the censorship and just like the involvement of just like this invisible chokehold that China has over its people, of just like not, yeah, of just like this public censorship and just all this just suppressing just information just to keep this idea of, I mean, I know it's a meme, but China number one. I'm just, yeah, I know it's a meme, but
Yeah, like it's a thing where like because it not only has it like impacted like actors, but if you look at it from a broader picture, it's also impacted a lot of like entities as well. Like there's like a lot of hotel lines who operate in China. Like one of I think it was like Hilton, but one hotel like had it on their website where that you could rent or like had like like a room in like Taiwan. Like it said like explicitly Taiwan, and like the Chinese, government put their boot on their neck because because essentially by calling that country Taiwan instead of what the Chinese call it, which is Taipei, you're acknowledging that the country is a sovereign nation rather than a rogue province or whatever. Even game developers, like the the lovable all inclusive Blizzard, um, you
that
know,
one got me mad. I genuinely stopped playing Hearthstone and Overwatch for like a cool like 4 or 5 months
there you go,
because
bro.
like that was just such a terrible fucking thing.
You could play Gwent now with me.
Well, yeah. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I think I don't. I started playing again, but I'm not playing in it that much anymore.
I feel it. The When it comes to, yeah, like I don't understand. Like I get it. It's for the sake of money, and if you look at the way that Blizzard makes their money, or how China is Blizzard's cash cow, is that they, because of the incessant amount of like card packs that come out and all these like revisionist updates and all the the new DLCs that come out for Hearthstone, like
Yeah,
the Chinese audiences eats it up, and like it's like a big part of like Blizzard's economic model. And so for Blizzard to not acknowledge the situation in Hong Kong and then later have someone like sort of acknowledge it and then give crocodile tears at an E3 at a Blizzard conference, I think it's just kind of like a spit in the face of like the ideals that Blizzard was founded upon.
yeah.
Like yeah, I don't really agree with it.
Yeah, it's really sad. Or like with that, and it just, uh, yeah, it's just really sad. Really, really, really sad. Like with that, or like with League of Legends, and there's this really good video. I'd have to send it to you of just like how the games really steered towards the Chinese audience in terms of their new characters, the kind of characters, the new mobile game. I'm like, where did that come from? And it's just like, because like mobile games in China are like super popular, like a lot. That's just like one of the big like medias out there is like mobile games and stuff like that.
I think that's
And then like,
go on, sorry.
and yeah, and then like the champion choice have, it's like there's this really good video on YouTube that really delves into that. Uh, but yeah, that's essentially all I was gonna say.
Yeah, man, because like I know like PlayStation and Xbox are not allowed to like sell anything there, and like I don't think like the only company to try to break ground that like like video game company to break ground within China has been like Nintendo, with where like they've tried to push like units in that way, push like the new Switches in that direction. But like you're not gonna see like because there's a lack of consoles, like because like I feel like if we weren't for consoles being like a mainstream thing, we would have defaulted to our phones as well. And
Yeah, probably.
I think that's the reason why the Chinese audience is so into phones. It's also like because there's a massive amount of people there. I mean, it's I don't think there's like I don't think I don't know. It's like I'll go as far as to say like because there's no consoles in China. And but yeah, I don't really agree because you're stifling like creativity and like I think in some ways like innovative like video game design because you're trying to make a margin for your investors because you're ultimately a company in the end of the day. I don't really see that much. I don't really see that with like EA, funny enough, or um like Rockstar or like Ubisoft. But I know that like Blizzard or like Activision, well, Riot Games is owned by Tencent, so they're a Chinese company.
Yeah.
Um, you know they that's the only way they operate. They operate like that.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, but I mean, you know, we've there's these games that do that stuff, and we don't really appreciate. But you do like what games do you recall from like your childhood that you like would like to come back or like have a reboot or like a sequel?
Oh man, fucking. There is this one game that I remember playing as a kid, and I really enjoyed it. Um, but it just sort of just like it like only like it happened, and then it was just it just disappeared. But I really liked it. It was called Metal Arms: Glitch in the System, which was really cool. It's this very like esoteric like third person shooter game. I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it. I just remember having a lot of fun with it. That would be cool to like I don't know, see that come back or some shit like that. But it was just I feel like it was too nuanced to develop like any sort of like crowd behind it. Um, what what would I don't know, man. Everything that like I was really into as like a kid kind of came back like pretty hard. Things like Doom, Mortal Kombat, uh, fucking Half-Life, especially Half-Life.
Yeah, with Alex. Do you have a VR?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm borrowing my friend's VR. However, I do want to like invest and get the Oculus Quest 2 because it's just so much more convenient and it's just so
You're gonna have to make a
good.
Facebook account. But yeah.
Yeah. Gotta slave away over to fucking Facebook and Mr. Marky Poo.
Mm-hmm. Um, I think games that I know a game that's making a comeback or two games. I know the new Psychonauts is there's another one
Oh
coming out.
yeah, that's right. I remember. I never played it, but I would always see it. Like, I always knew of Psychonauts, but I never played it.
And then there's the new Time Splitters game that's coming out. That or reboot that's happening. They're already remastered or the new Mass Effect series. Um, they already like they rebooted the Ratchet and Clank series for the second time in a row. And then like what like but like I guess a game series that I would like to come back. I mean, this is relegated to just like PlayStation, but I think the Resistance series I thought was like really good. It was like it's like a 1940s game where like you know like World War Two. It was the middle of World War Two, and then like aliens came by, and then like humans like set aside their differences to fight aliens that were trying to colonize and like breed with humans
Hmm.
to you know destroy humanity and all that. I that game was very like there were like three or four games. I know one came out for like the PSP or maybe it would have been a port, but I know that the um that they were pretty solid. They were pretty fun, and
Uh-huh.
I missed those. And then what other games? Um,
Hmm.
I mean, there's some bunch, man. Like that I would like to like. I think I honestly would love it if Sonic, not Sonic, but that's a different game. They if they remastered Sonic Unleashed, that I think is
I
a hot
never
take.
played it. I wanted to get into Sonic games, but I just never had them.
Dude, Sonic Unleashed
Um,
is peak 3D Sonic, bro. I have no idea. The soundtrack is masterful. It's so good.
like I played a lot of like the OG Sonics, but I like the 3D Sonics. I never really played that much.
Yes, I mean, I understand. You know, like '06 came out. That was practically like their
Oh,
9/11.
I had '06. I had '06.
No way.
I genuinely had '06. I didn't play it for long, and I
Makes
was just
sense.
too young to. I was too young to understand like the commotion about it. So I was just like, it's a game. I'm playing it. I'm bored. I mean, it's doing its job. I'm like, but like, I don't know. I did think it was weird, just like the whole like fucking weird relationship between Sonic and that weird anime female character, and I was kind of
Hmm.
uncomfortable being like fucking like 7, 8 years old. I'm like, oh shit, I don't like. What is this? I was like, well, I guess I'm not a furry.
Woohoo! There you go. You know what? I think if your child plays '06, then there's a good chance they won't become a furry. Confirmed.
Maybe it'll just scare him off. I'm like, oh my god, what is this fucking shit?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah, man. Uh, let's see. Is there anything else you would like to add, bro? Any other
Uh,
topics?
Nothing necessarily. Not nothing off the top of my head right now. Anything you?
Let's see. I guess like when it comes to, are there any new game releases that you're excited for or that you're interested in?
Let me think. That's a good question. There are not anything in the immediate. Uh, mm, Nothing necessarily.
I think the games that
What about you, man?
probably Stalker 2. I'm excited for Stalker 2 to come out.
Are they
Um,
coming out with that?
yeah, there's a new Stalker coming out. Here, let me send you
Oh
the.
shit.
It got announced at I think the last Xbox conference. Because it's apparently going to be I think it might be a Xbox PC exclusive,
Uh-huh.
but otherwise
Oh, no shit.
I would like it to come out to for PS5. I know another game that's coming out, or that's going to eventually be released, is the new Sunset Overdrive, where the first one came out for the original Xbox One, and then but like the because Insomniac got bought out by Sony or PlayStation,
No.
the eventually it's been confirmed that the rights of Sunset Overdrive have gone back to Insomniac Games. So there's a good possibility that the next Sunset Overdrive might either be a multi-platform or an exclusive for the next PlayStation,
Yeah.
which I think is going to be very interesting because I don't
Hmm.
think I've seen a game like become an exclusive for one system and then another for a next for the next another one.
Yeah. Hmm. Damn. And that's another one I should play.
Sunset
It's
Overdrive.
fucking or Stalker. I'm thinking I was still stuck on the Stalker. I was looking through it.
Stalker is tight. I love Stalker.
And I
It's
just know all the memes.
mm-hmm.
And there's like these guitar radio pieces that like I fell in love and ended up learning one of them. That's just like I don't know. I just thought it was like the prettiest fucking thing.
Yeah, I think yeah, Metro and like Stalker like share like the same lineage because the Stalker like
Yeah,
well
same cruise, right?
yeah well it
I,
was essentially the same crew who made the first Stalker, who then split off to make who make their own company to then make Stalker to make the Metro series.
yeah.
So that's like I guess yeah, man. So I guess we're about 2 minutes from or a minute and 30 from making it 2 hours. So I
2 hours. Oh damn, that really holy shit, we really blew through that. God damn,
yeah,
that's not bad for a first run.
there you go, there you go. I'd like to I guess it's time for us to sign off and for me to throw this thing into the editing meat grinder. I'm gonna show you how I do that, and then um, I just like to say thank you for joining me and for being my co-host. It's
Thank you for
honestly
having me, dude.
yeah,
It's been a
definitely.
blast.
You're gonna definitely. I really want you to come back and for us to do this weekly.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. I'd love to.
yeah, it's the. I think it's like. I think I've always wanted to make a podcast. I think you remember The last
Yeah,
time.
I remember. I remember.
Yeah, and it's like I've been a long time dream of mine, but the thing that's always like haunted me was like first of all I lacked the equipment, and then like I started having money coming in, and now I have like mostly proper like recording equipment and software,
Yeah.
and it's also a thing where like I could go like Bill Burr and like try to record a podcast by myself for 2 hours, but fuck
On your
that.
fucking on your phone, just
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't do that. I can't talk with myself for 2 hours, man. But like bouncing off ideas from another person to another person is perfect. And yeah, so this has been the second episode of the Wanderers podcast. Um, I'm Nicholas or Nick, and then if you want to talk with me more, I stream on Twitch whenever I can at twitch.tv/retro_loneliness. What about you, Joey?
What's it called? Well, like again, I'm Joey. What's it called, buddy and Nick? What's it called? Let's see how many times I can say what's it called. uh, well, I use the same name for about everything. All my social medias is LePoungen, LePoungen. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/LePoungen. It's just, yeah. Those are like sort of ways you can reach out if anyone wants to, anything like that. Yeah, I just want to thank you for like letting me be here and having me on here. And just hopefully we can make this like a thing. Maybe get some sort of audience. Who knows? Whether this will like go in the dirt or it'll go to the moon. Regardless, I had a blast. I had fun, and it's just a great experience.
For sure, man. All right, thank you guys. Bye.